무슨 이유로 태어나 어디서부터 왔는지 오랜 시간을 돌아와 널 만나게 됐어. 의도치 않은 사고와 우연했던 먼지 덩어린 별의 조각이 되어서 여기 온 거겠지. 던질수록 커지는 질문에 대답해야 해. 돌아갈 수 있다 해도 사랑해버린 모든 건 이별에 살아 숨을 쉬어. 난 떠날 수 없어. 태어난 곳이 아니어도 고르지 못했다고 해도 나를 실수했다 해도 이별이 맘에 들어. 까만 하늘 반짝이는 거기서 내가 보일까. 어느 시간에 살아도 또 만나러 올게. 그리워지면 두 눈을 감고 바라봐야 해. 돌아갈 수 있다 해도 사랑해버린 모든 건 이별에 살아 숨을 쉬어. 난 떠날 수 없어. 태어난 곳이 아니어도 고르지 못했다고 해도 내가 실수였다 해도 이별이 맘에 들어. 언젠가 만날 그날을 조금만 기다려줄래. 영원할 수 없는 여길 더 사랑해볼게. 돌아갈 수 있다 해도 사랑해버린 모든 건 이별에 살아 숨을 쉬어. 난 떠날 수 없어. 태어난 곳이 아니어도 고르지 못했다고 해도 내가 실수였다 해도 이별이 맘에 들어. 낮은 바람에 속삭임 초록빛 노랫소리와 너를 닮은 사람들과 이별이 맘에 들어.
Please. Right, and now I'm audible. Good. We do apologise for that and the fact that it turns out that my technical difficulties slide is brilliant unless I want to actually fix the technical difficulties. So, welcome back to... hang on, I should reconfigure this for the usual startup situation. Welcome back to 13th century Jerusalem, where Queen Antsa has got quite a lot of the area that she wants to be to be the Empire of Outremer. But she still needs to get some land off the Najidids, and that's not very hard. They're fairly weak and can easily be holy warred. And some land off the Byzantine Empire, which is kind of scary, and some land off the Kingdom of Africa, which, while only technically a kingdom, does stretch quite a long way, and is quite powerful, and is run by her cousin. So, Antsa has 34,000 troops. The Byzantine Emperor has 30,000 troops. The new King Alaric of Africa, 21 years old, and well, I mean, he's now as distant as kinsman. I think his father was, yes, he's Antsa's first cousin once removed. Has 43,000 troops, and the Najidids. Well, Antsa has a truce with them. They only have 11,000 troops. They are actually not very scary. So Antsa has a truce with the Najidids. She has a truce with the Count of Abydos because she gave him independence. She has a truce with the Duke of Cappadocia because she got into a fight with him. And she has, rather curiously, a truce with the Duke of Crete because he was Byzantine Emperor for a little bit or something like that. I can't remember.
The usual way that happens.
So, yeah, and last time we tried to get back this one little bishopric that's currently held by the Byzantine Empire and failed. Or was that the time before last? I can't remember. Because the Byzantine Empire reorganised itself while we were busy fighting it. So yes, everything down here is now ours. What is there? Is that a tiny bit of Cappadocia, or is that just the arms of? All right, that's the Count of Aden. Okay, yes, which looks a bit like Cappadocia, but isn't. So Antsa has moderate penalties from her vassals for having kept their levies raised too long. She has now successfully destroyed the Kingdom of Syria, which makes life a little bit less fraught. I am slightly wondering how close she is to being able to create the Kingdom of Iraq, but she probably shouldn't do that, because I think it'll have the same problem as Syria had. Well, I mean, it is the primary title of the Najidids, so we probably can't usurp that easily anyway. We must be close to holding half of its de jure counties. But, yes, I think it's... Oh, yes, it currently has open succession because it's Muslim, so I don't quite know whether it would convert to being gavelkind like Syria did if we were to usurp it. But we can't anyway, because you can't usurp someone else's primary title if they are of a different religion and still hold land within it, or some set of rules like that. So I think that they will have to just be taken apart slowly. Plus, we do actually only need 2 more duchies, I think. I don't think we need Sus. Yes, the area that we need only... Oh, well, no, 3 more duchies. We need Basra and those 2 counties, which are part of something or other, and that one up there. But like, surely our vassals can sort out going to war with the Najidids. We have to deal with the Byzantine Empire and Africa. So I have a kind of idea, which is that what we should do is try to get an alliance with one of those 2, and then use that alliance to give us enough strength to take on the other. I mean, technically we could probably take on the Byzantine Empire alone anyway. Like, we do have more troops than them, and we would probably have even more if we sat around for a bit. On which subject? Let's unpause and sit around for a bit. But, so, I mean, if we got an alliance with Africa, we might not even need to activate it. On the other hand, that thus means that getting an alliance with the Byzantine Empire to take land off Africa is likely to be more necessary, because, like, we still can't, and probably never will be able to, unless something really surprising happens to Africa, go to war with Africa on our own. And we can't get things out of Africa by inheritance because they have high crown authority. At least they did last I checked. Yes. Do they have high crown authority? I mean, we only actually care about Egypt. Well, we care about those as well. But yes, Africa as well has high crown authority. Rather curiously, Egypt has high crown authority and papal investiture, whereas Africa has papal investiture and high crown authority. I wonder why. Anyway, so that makes me feel like I want to try to organise an alliance with the Byzantine Empire. And then between us, maybe we could organise taking parts of Africa. And conveniently, the Basileus himself is unmarried. Interesting to note that his heir is the person he deposed, and indeed has imprisoned, but who is still terribly popular, apparently. Really very popular. Okay, mostly he appears to be voting for himself, but lots of other people vote for him as well. But maybe if Narses actually gets himself a wife and some children, things will improve. So obviously we have to betroth him to one of our granddaughters. Which actually appears to mean Nunya, because she is actually the only one of them who isn't already betrothed to someone. And that would get us a non-aggression pact with the Byzantine Empire. And then we turn that into, hopefully turn that into an alliance, and then with the help of the Byzantine Empire, nibble the bits of Africa we want. Yes. It's now resting rather inelegantly on the P of Persia. Let's switch back to a more sensible view so that doesn't happen. I'm thinking of the Prince of the P of Persia. So, I mean, he won't actually get to marry Nunya for quite some time. And I suppose that would mean that we could break that betrothal if it turned out he ceased being Basileus and he was thus uninteresting.
Just make sure you keep an eye on him.
Probably won't help anyway. The princess was so impressed that she vowed to become a pea someday.
Right. So yes, I think we should suggest that that Basileus Narses would like to be betrothed to Nunya di Spoleto. And then we'll see if he's willing to grant us an alliance. He might not be, because he might either want to take some of our land or might think we're going to take his, but surely then he should get an alliance. Yes, political concerns. I mean, we might be able to improve his opinion of us, though it will probably be need quite a big gift.
Give him some boots for starters.
Yeah, notably, I can't afford the size of gift he would need, because it's 265 gold, because he's the Basileus of the Byzantine Empire. But the thing is, I presume that
Even if you've just got a non-aggression pact, that at least takes them out of any defensive pact that Africa.
he wouldn't. Neither of them would be in a defensive pact against me because they're both too big. So yes, his political concerns those are surely more than so many minuses that we can't overcome those just by throwing money at the problem. Oh well.
Just make sure you keep watch on him so that when he ceases to be Basileus, you can unbetroth your daughter.
Granddaughter. I bet we'd find the same with Africa as well. So possibly I need to find like some smaller realms, only I need more granddaughters for that. What are you for? Get some more children. Oh yeah, I appreciate you have to wait a bit. Those of you who are actually married already, get more children. I mean, I suppose you could find someone else, but then I don't think that bastards count. Plus I don't... Oh, maybe I can get to control her. Oh, I could get myself... might be able to get myself a non-aggression pact with Italia. That might... If that actually work... If that means that I get a non-aggression pact with Italia, that might be helpful. And the fact that her father is not the mother's husband is apparently not a problem for Italia. There's 3 separate princes of Italia we could betroth her to. 2 of them are twins. 1 of them is 3 years old. In Orkentios. Sorry, 4 separate princes of Italia. I mean, there is some advantage to making it the youngest one so that we might be able to fish her back out again. We could even get a matrilineal marriage into Italia with Porphyrios, or indeed Innocentios. You can't get a matrilineal marriage to the eldest one of the princes. Kind of tempted to go for Innocentios, for a matrilineal marriage to Innocentios in order to get some more... Oh, yes, she is a Di Spoleto, isn't she? She's a bastard of Di Spoleto, but I think that means she can still pass on the dynasty. I can't remember. Well, let's get ourselves a non-aggression pact with Italia, I think. So I think that means that we get a non-aggression pact with all of those, and hence, among other things, with the Basileus of Italia, not of Byzantine Empire. We already have a non-aggression pact with the Basileus of the Byzantine Empire. Everyone's leaving the defensive pact, but I assume that's just a bug. Plus, like, no one I care about's leaving the defensive pact because no one I care about's in it. They're all far too powerful for that. Oh dear. I mean, why you were trying to make the mayor of Latakia realise I'm a benevolent and peaceful ruler, I don't know. Maybe I should work that out. Right, so now that seems to have been accepted. It's slightly indirect because she's not actually in my court. He won't even have so that didn't get me a non-aggression pact directly. And I can offer a non-aggression pact, but his political concerns say no. Bah. Right, have we got any more grandchildren kicking around? So Belaskita is available. So if we were in a situation where where Italia and the Byzantine Empire won't help us, I mean, I suppose we might hope that the HRE would be useful. I bet they have political concerns as well. They're Despoletos already. So we can't immediately get a defensive pact with them. Of course, none of my granddaughters are in my court, so I have to do this the indirect way. So that mostly gets me dukes. That's not very helpful, is it? Yeah, we can't find anyone good for Belaskita. So she's not even a Despoleto. How about Munio? There's the Karakanid Khanate, or the King of Franconia. Yeah, Franconia is not that good. King of Scotland, King of Navarra. No, 3,000 troops is not going to help my cause. I do like the fact that Munio Zenones has a palindromic patronymic. Call that a Khanate. Got 1,000 troops. That's really not going to help anything. Actually, maybe I need. Let's go back to the previous granddaughter. Because I think I actually need to scroll down past the landed characters to find the highest unlanded characters to see if they can get me a non-aggression pact. Which the answer appears to be no, not at all. I mean, we can get some non-aggression pact with dukes, but I really need at least a king, if not an emperor. Right, well then. Well, that's kind of unhelpful, because now I've got a non-aggression pact with the Byzantine Empire. Oh well, time to be peaceful for a bit, I suppose. What are my council doing then? You're studying technology in Fustat. You're proselytizing in Azarka. You're in Antioch, though apparently causing some confusion there by not actually talking to the Duchess. I mean, may not be too dangerous. You have at least not made things worse by talking to the Duchess. And we currently own the House of Wisdom in Baghdad, which already has all of its improvement slots filled. Gethsemane also has all its improvement slots filled and is only half built, half upgraded to the next level. And there's some complicated thing about gain 15 prestige for being zealous. How nice. Some complicated thing where 50 years after the completion of stage 1, which is quite soon actually, I need to add something to it and then wait 50 days, and then it should fire the A Town is Born event and get me an extra holding slot, which would be nice.
So you have to set up for that.
So Belaskita needs someone to teach her. Well, so is she in my court then? Oh yes, because her mother is actually in my court, isn't she? Mayor doesn't have, is unlanded. Well, I think I should teach this random granddaughter. I have a spare slot for it after all. How very odd. Because she is so... Because we are quite popular, it appears that I can actually get her a marriage to a non-Christian. I'm not sure this is helpful. And apparently not get it. Drew's characters cannot marry matrilineally, yes. If I bonk the matrilineal button, then things get a lot less good. Oh, right, yes. Well, possibly if I bonk the matrilineal button without insisting on genius, things are not quite so bad. So do we have many non-Christians available? Not really. The monophysites are much more common than anything more interestingly exotic. Yeah, it's almost all... There's... Yeah, not helpful. It's kind of inconvenient that it's difficult to go back from that screen. Some high chiefs are all right, but probably not this guy. Really, no. Kind of Frederick. Oh right, he's a petty king. No. Oops. Yeah, so there is a distinct shortage of good non-aggression pacts to be had, and as far as I can see, when I get good ones, they turn out to be unhelpful for other reasons. Like, they won't upgrade them to alliances. Let's see, does Bulgaria have anything good? They are, after all, an empire. Okay, I don't appear to have... Why don't I have her as... Oh, because I'm looking on the wrong side. That's not very helpful, yes. She doesn't have many people to offer at all, then. There's no one who would get me a non-aggression pact. Hungary, they're fairly powerful. I mean, that would get me a non-aggression pact with Hungary. Not really enough to go after Africa. Let's have another inspector Bulgaria. I may have messed that up. Okay, I can betray... Oh, no. Oh, maybe you'd like it back. She'd like it matrilineally. No. She has political concerns about just getting married. Also, she thinks Munio is too young, which, given he's 2 years old and she's 56, is probably not unreasonable. So we might be able to get Hungary. Just see what we can work out here. If we offer Munio, what does he have? I mean, that... HRE... I mean, I bet he has political concerns that mean that he won't actually have an alliance with us. But it looks like if we offer him Munio for little Arenye, that gets us a non-aggression pact with Kaiser Heribert of the Holy Roman Empire. I mean, we can make it matrilineal, but that makes no difference because they're both Dispoletos, albeit quite distantly related ones, I suspect. Well, maybe we should try that and see if that'll help. The HRE seems a reasonable bet. I'm going to run out of grandchildren soon.
Well, they might be refreshed eventually.
No political concerns. I think we now don't have anyone we can offer to Hungary. Yeah, let's allow some time to pass and see if we can get some more grandchildren. Also, since we're not immediately planning to go to war with anyone, let's research some military technology. Okay. Najadid's dealing with their revolt. Queen Ava of Lusitania has joined a defensive pact. She's a bit far away for me to try to make alliances with her. Plus I'm out of spare grandchildren almost. I mean, I think we have some that we can... Excellent. The county of Al Jalf has become Catholic. I think that someone else's court chaplain has been hard at work. Since all of the dukes and counts also have court chaplains. My court chaplain is currently trying to fix Azaka, which is not actually part of my domain, but I would quite like it fixed and I would quite like it back in my domain in due course. But that requires waiting for that truce to time out, which it will do fairly shortly, and then we can revoke Azaka from him. Though my threat will probably have decayed enough that I don't actually want to grant him independence just yet. Well, he's not as strong as he was, but he's still terrifying. Is Africa currently at war with the Byzantine Empire then? No. Just wondering why there's a bunch of African armies up here. Busy getting into a fight with some rebels. That's nice. I don't really know why the bishops are A, ejecting one another, or B, bothering to tell me about it. Prince Baldwin of Africa, also known as Duke Baldwin of Baghdad, is mucking around trying to revoke one of his vassals' titles. I thought I gave him free rein to choose who he would put in those roles, but maybe I'm confused. Yes, thank you. You've joined a defensive pact against me. I'm not actually about to attack anyone, and in particular no one who isn't either the Najadid Sultanate, the Byzantine Empire, or Africa. And I'm not about to attack any of those for varying reasons. Okay, yes. One of my dukes, duchesses, has inherited a barony, and this is not really of any relevance to me. So you can watch the water evoke Elam. Anselm of Leon has joined the defensive pact. Our truce with Count Idli of Abydos is about to expire. That's nice. We have no reason to attack him. The county of Azarka has been converted. Not, I don't think, by my court chaplain, but that's fine. Right, well, we should probably just keep on converting the more distant parts of our realm. Choosing the more distant parts because they're the ones it's hard to get troops to. So Baldwin is slowly besieging Elam. Meanwhile, these two in my court. Oh dear, I should have... Was she actually in my court? If she was, I really should have been doing something about, like, teaching her. Because she's turned out as an amateurish plotter, which is really not very helpful. Oh well, yes, she's still a genius. Let's marry her into the family. Not like he's likely to be a... ruler anyway. Basileus Narses has just lost a holy war, slightly surprisingly. Oh dear, my son Ramiro is now known as Ramiro the Thin-Minded. Possibly because he has a learning of 3.
Why has he got such low learning?
I don't know, maybe no one taught him. He's got 18 martial.
Ah, he's a games teacher.
Excellent, that gets us some tech points. Still hoping for some improved keeps. All right, Duchess Adelheid likes us a bit more, which is nice. The new Basileus is Orthodox and is therefore trying to convert all of his vassals back to Orthodoxy. And because we're watching him, we get reports on all of this. Right, so we no longer have a truce with Theochristos of Cappadocia, which means that we might be able to plot to get Azarka off him. Yes. And he's also Duke of Abydos, but we really don't care about that. But if we could get Azarka off him, then I think he would hold no territory in the area that we want to become Outremer. and therefore we could actually grant him independence. I mean, we'll obviously have a small war as a result. It appears to be all the plot power we can get, which is apparently just barely enough. I mean, I assume there must occasionally be cases where they actually do give in without a fight. Emir Isa of the Elamid Emirate accepted Basileus Narses of the Byzantine Empire's offer to join the Tiflisite, something like that, a holy war for Kakheti. That's nice. Not everyone converts to Orthodoxy for him, though. Right, well, let's just stomp this into Azarka. Let's just get ourselves an organiser and see if we can catch that army. Right, well done, you've converted Julfar, that was quick. I think so quick I'm not allowed to move you yet, yes. Where are they going anyway? They're going to Al-Mafraq, so we should probably go to Al-Mafraq as well. CK2 is now Catholic as well. Oh, everywhere's going Catholic. I mean, we do have a lot of moral authority at the moment. And now they're going back to Azarka. Yeah. Erbil is Catholic. Occurs to me I should just, like...
You're only still heading to where that other one was.
Yeah, but it's going back there. So, yes. Yes, because that's also where it will be. Occurs to me I should just go, like, he's my courtier. Is anyone useful tutoring him at the moment? Radbot. Yeah, Radbot's probably okay. Am I tutoring anyone at the moment? I'm only tutoring one person. Maybe I should swipe Elbira's husband from Radbot, given that she may actually be eventually heir to the kingdom. Oh no, but there's a reason for that. It's that I'm trying to turn him Catholic. And Radbot is particularly good for turning people Catholic because he is both zealous and gregarious. No, it's zealous and diligent I want for that, isn't it? Not zealous and gregarious, you idiot. So, I haven't got many people I like who look like really good teachers who are zealous and diligent. I mean, Morcar would do all right. I'm zealous, so that's probably enough. And like, we can always ask him to convert later. I think I'm going to teach him rather than allowing anyone else to do so. Because I think we want Satuk, as far as possible, to actually turn out as a turn out well, because he may well be the brains behind the throne. This campaign has been easy pickings. Swinging my sword through the desert is a pleasure, and my fellow soldiers are equally jovial, surrounded by the blood of our Greek enemies and the cries of battle. Look, enemy commander Count Philotheos is hiding. Somebody suddenly shouts, pointing off into the distance. Ooh, 33 versus 51. No, we'll still go for
I
it.
think you should go and pick us up.
Aha, how lovely. 'Tis a good day for a duel, I chuckle, hefting my Basque Crusader falchion in my hands. Enough talking, my opponent growls. Soon Count Philotheos is lying face down in the mud, as I have seen to crack several of his ribs. Yes, I take it I win this fight as well.
Couple more points, hasn't it?
I think so, yes. 55 personal combat skill, of which 16 is from duel experience now. I now have a strategic understanding bonus. Movement speed plus 1%. Siege plus 1%. Martial plus 1. 31 martial points. My ward Satuk is turning into an arrogant little braggart. Yes, what has happened to him while he's been under other people's control? He's become zealous, which is slightly unfortunate given he's orthodox. I might have to rein him in a little bit. We don't really mind, because he's not actually going to be the ruler. We want him to get the best attributes he can. I think he can have reason to be proud. He is, after all, a genius who will eventually marry the queen of the... oh yes, we don't currently have a designated regent because we've just gone to war with him. Well, let's appoint Gillan then. He seems a reasonable person. So, oh, a load of messages. Are those interesting? It's mostly our... various relatives doing things. Right, we have taken Sarka itself. And for some reason, he's just gone and run into a fight with the army of the Bishop of Baghdad. I mean, he won it, but... I don't really worry about someone trying to kill the Bishop of Jaffa or whatever it was. That lot are gradually suffering from attrition for being in the, for having been out there for too long. And I've now decided to besiege a random bit of my... random, rather distant bit of my territory. And now the peasants are revolting in Muscat. Stop it. There's a reason why I was out there trying to convert you lot. Oh, it appears that someone else is dealing with that problem. Oh, on which subject can I move my court chaplain yet? Yes, good. Why are you trying to murder your husband? Yes. I mean, your successor, you're the heir to the duchy. Or rather complicatedly, he is heir to the Duchy of Jazeera. Because, of course, I was trying to get Jazeera into my realm. But it's gone kind of weird because they went and turned it Gavelkind. Which means that now the heir to Jazeera is actually the son of one of my vassals. So if she successfully murders Duke Gregorios, then this kid will become Duke of Oman and therefore will probably drop out of the running for Jazeera on the grounds that... Oh, but he might not because he's the only one at his generation. Yeah, carry on and murder him. I might even join your plot. So yes, I could join her plot to murder Duke Gregorios, because I think that might get me Jazeera, but I'm not sure. It seems kind of rude to murder someone just in order to adjust the succession rules. I appreciate that I do that quite a lot, but...
Then you want him above asked to join plot, because it was stop backing plot.
Sorry, let me do that in the right place.
Asked someone else to stop backing plot.
So, right, I think there are currently multiple plots. Hang on, what's going on there? Because that suggests that Dionysios has a plot to kill Gregorios as well. And she's backing that one, as well as her own.
Well, strengthen them.
Yeah, there are currently actually 3 active plots to kill Gregorios. They currently each only have 35% plot power. I mean, I'm wondering if I can join all 3 plots. So let's just carefully see if we can work out what's going to happen if he dies. So the current situation is that Raphael is heir to both Jazeera and Oman. So if Gregorios dies, Raphael will obviously immediately inherit Oman. So then we need to look at Jazeera. That's not Jazeera. That's Jazeera. So the current Duke of Jazeera is Gregorios's father and hence Raphael's grandfather. So the question is, why is Hippolytos not the heir? So I think if we kill Gregorios, Hippolytos must surely become the heir to Jazeera as the one surviving male unlanded male descendant of Theodoros. So I think Gregorios's death does not itself help us, and actually we would need both Gregorios and Hippolytos to die. I can't currently plot kill Hippolytos because he's too far away. On the other hand, the death of Gregorios does get us closer, though it leaves us in a slightly delicate situation. No, but we can't lose. We have high crown authority, so we can't lose things to weird inheritances. Whereas, Assyria has high crown authority too. Oh well, in that case, this is will all be to no avail. Right, we can't do this by inheritance tricks anyway. Right, let's not bother killing Gregorios then. Various people have been released from dungeons. Count Erich has unsurprisingly lost his war to try to hold on to his territory. Pinkbee says, seems like everyone in them should join all three plots. Ah, but they don't all know about one another's plots because they probably haven't got such a good spy master as I have. I can tell that all three plots exist, but they can't, I suspect. People leaving a faction. Right, we have 95% war score. Let's send this army over to fight with the Cappadocian army again. That should deal with things.
It will take about a century to walk over there.
It will take a little while. But I suspect we're also now getting ticking war score for occupying Azaka. Yes, actually, given we're now at 98%, we may not be able to walk all the way over to... This is why he's besieging something so far away. It may take us so long to get there that we've actually won the war by the time we get there. Yes, there we go. Right, our plot to revoke Azaka has finished. Just at a moment when our troops were not in our own territory. Right. That now means I'm exceeding my domain size limit. Right. So I should probably find someone else to give Azaka to. So I think now I could actually make Duke Theochristos, who comprehensively hates me, independent. Because now none of his lands are actually in the part of the world that I care about. Because it's that county and those two counties that he controls. I essentially got him as a claimant in order to get this one county here, and the others just kind of came along with it for free. And that would allow me to reduce my threat. I'm not sure my threat actually matters anymore. Because even at this level, none of the people who control land I'm interested in have joined the defensive pact. So maybe I just stick with the current situation, though I should probably grant Azaka to someone. One possibility is to find a claimant on... do I have a claimant on that? No, because if I did, they would be shown as being there. I thought I had a claimant on Beroea, but maybe they've died. Suppose if I can't inherit Jazeera, I may have to find a claimant on Jazeera. Well, our main option appears to be Photios, who is the only one of them who actually wants to join our court, except, of course, we already have Gregorios. So we've already got a claimant, as long as, you know, no one murders him. Maybe we should ask people to stop murdering him.
He is called the Cruel. I suppose it's not so surprising three separate people have had the idea. Wouldn't it be nice if he were not?
Oh, right, no, his weak claim will be inherited, that's fine. Oh, Raphael has inherited the Duchy of Jazeera. While we weren't looking, and we're deciding whether or not to murder someone to get him a different duchy. So he now cannot inherit Oman because Oman is in our kingdom, which has high crown authority, and so now Garifalia will inherit the Duchy of Oman instead, and with it, I expect thus the weak claim on the Duchy of Jazeera. Well, now. So now, yeah, if only we didn't have a non-aggression pact with the Byzantine Empire. Seemed like a good idea at the time. I mean, we could break the betrothal with the Byzantine Empire, which would evaporate the non-aggression pact, I suppose. Because now that the Duke of Jazeera is a child, our weak claim is actually usable. How old is the Duke of Jazeera anyway? How childish is he? He was fairly old, as I recall. Like, oh, he's 10. We've got a few years. So if we want to get a town is born, we need not to be at war 50 days after we finish building the next addition, next feature after the great work is 50 years old, I think. So it was completed in 1163, so it's 1213 when we need to start considering that. So that is still 5 years off. But that means that will happen before we can next, for instance, go to war with the Najidids, unless their ruler dies. So I'm still over my domain limit because I don't know who to give Azaka to. I suppose we should see if there are any claimants for... I don't think we yet have a claimant on Sinai. Several of those who would join my court, any one of them got a strong claim. Ooh, Athelwyn is 21 and has a strong claim on Sinai. Egfrida is 48 and has a weak claim. Prokopios has a weak claim. Orestes has a weak claim. So I think maybe we should invite Athelwyn of Wessex to be the new Count of Azarka because he has a strong claim on the Duchy of Sinai. What are those messages? I've become Countess of Azarka. Yes, I know. Various people have been released from prison. Oh, we should press that button at some point. Right, Athelwyn has arrived in my court. And is now Count of Azarka. Right, I have so many economic points, I can actually get everything. So improved keeps would allow me to build quite a lot of extra technology of sorts that I probably actually want. So let us make our keeps even more improved. Do we have a new Prince Bishop of Hijaz? Probably not, because if we did, he would no longer be our... No, Gillen is still there. I think it's that our proposed successor has died. Who's this guy? Who's Vukaman? Why is he in my court? I mean, he looks kind of brilliant in his own way. Probably easiest to find him through the character finder, isn't it? Search court for someone called Vukaman. He's a random 31-year-old genius we just have like lying around. I feel that with a haircut like that, maybe I should make him a Prince Archbishop. Is it a haircut or is it a kind of a very fluffy crown?
Like a headband to me.
I mean,
hair now to cut. Or if there is, it's a sort of tonsure around the edge. But the colours of the hair is dark red. It must be.
just wondering if there are any convenient Despoletos I should be marrying him to. Not really, not in my area. Sorry, I have no good idea why you should or shouldn't be be the next Prince Archbishop of Hijaz. But until I come up with a better idea. Well, I suppose I could land my son, but I don't think anyone minds the fact that my son's unlanded, except possibly for the son himself. Because he isn't my heir.
Because you've got an elected monarchy?
Because I've got absolute cognatic succession, and he's my fourth child. He's just the only son. So the heir is Duchess Antsa, the ill ruler of Samara. And the next one after her will be probably Albira. So I do want to be watching out for the Byzantine Empire randomly exploding again. And paying some attention to whether, Africa's looking relatively weak at the moment. as though they've just got into a only mildly disastrous war. I'm looking less weak. I mean, it would be bold to go to war with Africa, even so. Let's just check that none of my people who I would like alliances with will give me an alliance. Though, admittedly, rulers do, in particular if they have lowish crown authority, tend to get a largish boost to the size of their armies simply for being attacked, because your vassals tend to like you more if you're being attacked. He's currently in the middle of a doubtless easily winnable holy war, given he apparently is going after that one county there. Yes, I mean, that's not going to take him any time at all, or need any of his troops. So I can now actually usefully claim Sinai. It is kind of tempting, even though it might be a disaster. Right, my attempts at getting a how much are those up by? We wait for those to decay a bit more. I think we do, actually, because we can wait for him to win his war, and that will. I don't think the number of troops he needs for the war is very large, but on the other hand, that'll probably piss off his vassals a bit more. Okay, I apparently have another peasant revolt to deal with. Yes.
Well, if John appears a review, Spotty or send you an email or something, and you could answer what you think of it.
Yes, thank you. I'm likely to be somewhat busy tomorrow, Tuesday on the other hand. Hopefully not so much.
Don't hold up for until mid tomorrow anyway, because apparently one of the schools has been incredibly annoying, and he said, too long, I'll rant when we speak.
Right, yes, that's not a problem. Might have a look at that independence faction, see if I should just grant people independence. As in, if I can grant Cappadocia independence and thus neuter the independence faction.
They're really helpful.
No, it turns out the guy from Cappadocia doesn't want independence. Okay.
I've got swoop waiting upstairs as well. And these bits on him are shiny prey, like on the Atheist Talk. For some reason they made these onto the track rather than shiny prey.
Right, so, oh. Excellent, more tech from Fustat. What's going on here then? Why would I want to kill Heike von Würzburg? Right. I can't see any good reason why why anyone would want to kill Heike von Würzburg. Please stop trying to kill Heike von Würzburg. She's the wife of one of my best commanders. Who is currently dealing with a... it is mountainous. Oh, we should be able to win anyway. Yeah, I just want you not to kill them.
The peasants revolted in a mountainous region and then decided that wasn't the hill they wanted to die on.
Sadly, it is the hill they're dying on. See, dying very much. My ward Satuk has a tender and loving soul, trusting everyone in the castle. I fear that he will get hurt someday. Yeah, that's good. Right, that's that revolt dealt with. So, we now have marginally fewer troops. He is close to winning that war. So I think Heike von Würzburg has apparently acted dishonourably towards me. I wonder what that was. Theochristos has, yes, that's hardly surprising, but it's not like we really have any reason to want to imprison him. Like, we mostly want to give him independence, but like we also don't care because our threat level really doesn't matter. Right, I think if there's ever going to be a time to go to war with Africa, now is probably a pretty good one. Because his troops are slightly depleted and there aren't very many of them. He doesn't have that much money. He's probably annoyed his vassals quite a lot with his recent war. We have mostly non-annoyed vassals. We just instigated a massive recruitment drive. Like, my domain troops are still a bit depleted, but that appears to always be the case. It looks like the ones up here at least are pretty solid. Just give him a little while. We probably don't want him to actually finish the war, do we? Because we would like his troops to be busy. So yes, Count Athelwyn is already a vassal because he's Count of Assaka. Right, let's go. This is a terrifying idea, but
Extra terrifying ideas. Such diversity elephants always going to war in Africa with your uncle.
First cousin once removed.
Yeah, your uncle snuffed it.
Yes, we're now 2 generations further down. I really don't, I only care if you're, well, frankly, if you cease being, peasants have revolted into Hama. Where's that? Okay. Well, this lot are basically waiting for all their friends to join them. And there aren't enough of them given its mountains, actually. Let's... wait for slightly more people to organise themselves and then quickly squash that peasant revolt before we go up here to join the main force. All right. Probably right. We've dealt with the trade post of Dhofar, so now that lot can join their ships and sail up to Tabuk. That lot, when combined with that lot and equipped with some decent commanders, will probably be enough to deal with that revolt, and then they can all get on their ships there. Which I suppose actually means I should just redirect all the rest of them. No, I think I meant shift and not control there. It's better up there as well. Except that those ones obviously need to take it a bit... need to take it a bit slowly, because otherwise they'll arrive first, and that will be embarrassing, because there are only 43 of them. Baitash Karakanid claims that he would make a better Chancellor than Mayor Martin. Technically, yes. Go on then. Aha, we can convert Satuk to Catholicism. Excellent. We should also convert Baitash if possible.
Do you get to find out that before you decide to appoint someone as your official?
Yes, I could have checked. But, like...
I just had the horrible feeling there might be a modal dialogue box involved.
No, pretty much every dialogue box in this is non-modal, in that you can wander around and inspect other things at the same time.
Your only danger is accidentally clicking dialogue box that you're trying to find out about.
Identify the problem with your transfer.
Hey, I can remember the name Baitash. Karakanid is a bit more tricky, but... Right, he is now Catholic. Who should he be cheering up? The problem is that this now sorts by something really unhelpful. I think the Duke of Galilee is... He's not very grumpy, on the other hand. Duke of Tripoli is very grumpy. Okay, we do rather need the reinforcements to turn up. That's better. Right, right. We've already taken one castle off the Africans, and they have barely turned up yet. They appear to have an army of 312 people there. Sorry? That's the peasant revolt. The black and red is generally a sign of a revolt of some sort. Right, we've now dealt with that. Oops. Someone formed an alliance while we weren't looking. That's not actually enough ships, is it?
I mean, the biggest problem is going to be that you're going to need to win some battles at some point. Or sit around for 3 years going la 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 la.
Well, that's got a reasonable number of those armies on that ship. Let's send them up to Tabuk. Are you just randomly besieging a trade post while you're there? You are. Well, that's fine. We are going to need slightly more ships. Let's send that lot up to pick up the next batch. That will be enough, yes. So I think that's most of our troops now vaguely in the right place, yes. This lot can be sorted out just as soon as those ships arrive, which they have done. Those can go up to Tabuk as well. Oh, that army appears to be bored. You lot can head down to Sinai proper then. You lot seem to be kind of pointless there, but once we've won the... Oops. Right. Yeah, surprisingly little money for besieging a trade post. The lady almost ran me down as I entered the hall, tearfully. She told me that my granddaughter Bella Skeeter had insulted her again.
It's the same insult every time.
Yes. Small children not very original in their insults, apparently.
CK2 at this level.
So the question is, do we want her to stay honest? Essentially, good for diplomacy, bad for intrigue. I'm not sure we even know what Bella Skeeter's for yet. Given I'm teaching her, let's head her towards devious. Oh, well, we didn't get that. On the grounds that that's good for your personal combat skill. She's just plotting to murder her husband, isn't she, for reasons we don't understand. Let her carry on. She's one of the people trying to kill Duke Gregorios. And I kind of decided that actually it really didn't matter what happened there. People trying to fabricate claims. Basileus Narses becoming guardian of various people. So let's just check how his armies are doing. Right, he's still nice and low. He's no longer at war with that random African king chiefdom because, curiously, he's now claimed it. Oh dear, Du Rorges, who was the, I don't know why he's my acquaintance, but who was the previous Basileus of the Byzantine Empire, has died, which is probably good for Narses on the grounds that his
Chief rival is gone?
yes, the person, his heir, has now died, and presumably that still has to organise itself a bit, and people will now be desperately voting for new candidates. Not that we really care what's going on in the Byzantine Empire. Oh dear, stop raiding my camps, it's unfriendly. Should check that we have a sensible distribution of siege leaders, shouldn't I? So the siege leaders are me, Baldwin. I mean, Morcar arguably should be out there somewhere, but me and Baldwin. So as long as I'm leading one of these and Baldwin is leading another, which is not the case. Then things will go adequately quickly. We should probably also put some decent commanders in by default. I mean, I suppose I can pay some attention and we'll notice if anyone is attacking. Oh, there's a new Basileus of the Byzantine Empire, because Narses has died.
Fortunately, this is the betrothal stage, isn't it?
Yes. And the new Basileus is already married.
That's fine, though. We've probably got...
But that means we no longer have a non-aggression pact with the Byzantine Empire.
Yeah, but you can probably betroth the kid to the, his son.
Yeah, but I'm not sure we want to. because last time we didn't get an alliance out of it. And non-aggression pacts aren't really worth very much if you're reasonably powerful.
It's true.
Right, there is a decent-sized African army. So let us grab this decent-sized Jerusalemite army, give it a sensible set of commanders. Actually, we'll put Gregorios on the bigger flank on the grounds that he is a slightly weaker commander. And try to catch them. They're in desert, which gives them an advantage, but it also gives me an advantage because I am a desert expert. So we just hope there aren't any African reinforcements lying around. Actually, given this lot have just finished a siege, let's just send them that way just in case. Give them some halfway decent commanders as well, just in case they need it. Yeah. Antsa's desert expertise is doing pretty well, though she has probably just lost a commander, which is a bit unfortunate. Okay. So, oh dear, we appear to have lost one of our organisers. Right. Let's see if we can find an organiser.
If you put things where they should be, you'd never find them.
Yes, unfortunately, what we've lost. Oh, a genius 22 Marshal organiser. Well, that seems nice. There's also like a 20 Marshal organiser available. I mean, he's not as good in general. No, we only need 2 organisers. But he's 20. Oh, we'll invite him and then we'll consider it when he gets here. It's not like having people in my court is very expensive. Let's cheer him up a lot and then ask him to become Catholic on general principles. And that guy is 20 Marshal and an organiser, but not otherwise brilliant. But the thing is, that's better than, probably better than 17 Marshal and an organiser. Right, we now have a supply limit problem because the supply limit in this county is only 11,000 and we have quite a lot more than 11,000 troops there. Let's get that lot out, making sure that they have an organiser. Hello Andreas, welcome to Jerusalem, you are leading our army.
terrifying thought, because the first Andreas I thought of was Kirsten Collins. Somewhat enthusiastic son.
So did that get us? Yes, we got 13% war score for that battle. Excellent. Oh, right. Duke Gregorios successfully died of depression. Well, I mean, maybe not successfully. Did manage not to get murdered by any of the 3 plots against him. At least 3 plots. 3 plots that the Queen knew about. And his daughter, Duchess Garifalia, has now become Duchess of Aman. His son, Raphael, is Duke of Jazeera. Evanthia is thus will get either of them if they're if the respective siblings die before they have their own children. But right, yes, we are slowly nibbling our way through here. In fact, there is nothing left to nibble there, so you guys can move down into that county. Because this place is a bit weird in that half the holdings are held by us and half the holdings are held by the by Africa. He says, putting his mouse pointer on the wrong ones. Petra is currently owned by Africa. We'd quite like not to gain it too soon, but that's fine. That's not where we're currently going to war for. We are currently going to war for Sinai. Oh, hang on, was Baldwin in here and I'm just an idiot? Yes, let's put Baldwin back in here. Because he's actually, we actually want that one, this one is actually part of the territory that we're trying to besiege. Actually, these guys should probably go all the way through to Sinai and so, because we'll get the most war score for besieging the territory we're actually meant to be getting. I mean, we'll get some war score for besieging Fustat, I suppose. Maybe we should go over there. Let's finish this siege off first, it won't be long.
Right, well, good luck with your sieges. Good night.
Night. It's nice, my court chaplain has had a daughter by his second wife, whom I have a vague memory I organised that marriage. Here we have a slightly low supply limit there. Why did you route that way? There are higher supply limits in the enemy territory. Silly people.
Yeah, but you get better recharge.
Oh, right. So, yes, I thus might have gained more from, since I was only barely over the supply limit, gained more by routing through my own territory and reinforcing there. Oh, he's brought 19,000 troops this time. Right. So we do have to be a bit careful. Let's just stay where we are for now. The Yazidi heresy has appeared in the county of Samara. Accursed heathens. It's true. Well, I mean, we should start getting Catholic heresies soon. I mean, except that Catholicism has quite a high moral authority, so is less prone to them than Sunnism is. Satuk is considering becoming charitable. Yes, I think charitability would be excellent. Right, so they are actually going to come and attack me in Kolzum. Excellent. I think I want to wait. I think I want to make sure I have some really good commanders. How many marshal points does my marshal have? Should I take him off what he's currently doing? He's got slightly more. But he is improving our levy reinforcement rate. Now let's temporarily take him off training troops so that we can make sure that this battle he actually joins us here for. Then, in order not to scare the enemy, I should not move up my reinforcements just yet. I think we want to wait till the enemy is movement locked. And then march that lot in, making sure that they have Andreas, who is an organiser. Then I feel that for safety, this lot should back them up. We shouldn't need them, but yeah, so this is going to start poorly. But then I hope that those reinforcements will be enough. Oh, right, Nunya needs a guardian. Yeah, I think those reinforcements will be more than enough. Right, well that was an impressive battle. That battle was worth 40% war score.
And now you can press the release the peace order button. So that's one duchy you need down. Presumably the green bit just next to you also needs to go at some point.
Yes, so that's more inconvenient because those two counties are, I think, direct vassals of two separate direct vassals of the kingdom. We obviously have de jure claims on them.
But you can only take them off one by one in alphabetical order.
Yes.
Which means probably what happens now is you wait for your truce with the Najidids to expire, Najid the Najidids, and then come back and attack Africa. On the plus side, because they're single counties, you can totally blitzkrieg them.
A bit. I mean, I still need. I do 100% occupation just of the target isn't good enough. I still will need...
Enough pretty quick.
Yes. Let's organise things now. Don't know why I care that you've become a skilled tactician. Athelwyn of Wessex is now known as the Usurper, as the having usurped Sinai. We never did get to besiege Fustat. So maybe now I should try to get an alliance with Africa to go after the Byzantine Empire. Right, let us assume...
You should probably just wait for the Byzantine Empire to have its next revolt. Because they come along like clockwork. Whereas locking yourself into an alliance, it's not easy to back out quickly when you need to, because your truce has expired and
It's true, and we are getting significantly more powerful than the Byzantine Empire now.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, they have a lot of mountains, but they'll have a revolt, in another minute or so. It'll be fine.
They have moved their capital again. Right, so what's the current state of the Najadid truce then? That's until 1216, so we have got a rather long while until that one expires. But we don't have a truce with the Byzantine Empire. We may have to work out what claims we can get for them. But I think we have a claim on Jazeera, if nothing else.
Well, presumably you've got a de jure claim on wherever it is the poem is about.
We've got a few little de jure claims on against the Byzantine Empire, but nothing very helpful. I mean, slightly helpful, but they're only individual counties, so
Right.
I'd prefer to take more land at a time if possible.
Well, yes.
Apparently I still have some army levies raised. Where are they? Oh, there. They were useless. Right.
I mean, you may get lucky and have a couple of de jure claims come up at the same time that sit in, one in the Empire and one in its revolt.
Yes. Yes, so I do have Little Garifalia has a claim on Jazeera. So you could definitely take advantage of that. But first, I apparently have lost my spy master in a freak accident. Let's see if we can find someone good.
Good night, stream.
Good night. The genius Marshal of Ossory would make an excellent spy master. Nunya needs someone to teach her. I am currently teaching my granddaughter Belaskita and my intended grandson-in-law Satuk. So I think Nunya is further down the list than them. So I mean, I'm not quite sure what she's good for. Like, as far as I'm concerned, she's mostly alliance fodder. I'm going, what do you want in someone working for your allies? I mean, high diplomacy is probably all right. This guy, whom we were planning to marry to someone and then for some reason turned out to be unable to, seems like a good bet. So yes, he's also got Azaka. We could try to swipe it from him again, but we don't really. We do actually want to keep Sinai. So what should my marshal be doing? Should we set him back to training troops or researching more military tech? Let's have him research more military tech. Though, to an extent, what I actually want is... I mean, we've got more improved keeps, so I can probably pour some money into better castle walls and such. An extra +1 fort level on Mirabelle, that would be pretty nice. Not even very expensive. Yes, I'm sure people are joining a defensive pact. So Athelstan has arrived and we can appoint him as spy master. And then probably want him to keep researching technology, studying technology in Fustat, even though we're not actually planning to go to war with them anytime soon. So, I mean, unless the Byzantine Empire or more likely the Najidids join the defensive pact against me, I'm not too worried. We have all sorts of weird claims we could press, but like we don't want to. We have a target here. Yeah, let's allow our vassals to calm down a bit on general principles, because I don't think the Byzantine Empire is unusually weak at the moment. Munio Zenones has come of age, not come of age, has become old enough to need tutelage. The Holy Roman Empire still refuses to enter into an alliance with us, but that's fine. Since we don't actually, yes, it occurs to me that what I actually ought to do with him is like find one of my vassals I want to entrust him to. Would he be an all right tutor? No, I have standards. Baldwin already loves me. Morcar's a bit feeble. Gillen's kind of good, actually. Can I actually ask for Gillen to tutor him himself? Looks like I can't. That's not very helpful. In that case, maybe I should just look for vassals whose opinion of me I want to improve. I mean, Athelwyn of Wessex still... Why does Athelwyn hate me so much? I mean, he still remembers me destroying the kingdom of Syria, admittedly. Can I find someone conveniently diligent here? Who, like, is also worthwhile? Yes. So that'll get me an extra 10 points of likingness, and we don't really care how Munio turns out. So now, finally, Athelwyn actually has a positive opinion of me, barely. Just looking through these to see if there's anything interesting. Yeah, the fact that we have a truce with Prince Jacobos of the Byzantine Empire is really not very helpful. Although we are expiring, that truce is expiring, is not very helpful. Yes. A random baron has died without offspring, and so left the barony to his liege. Now, nothing can pass out from my realm. We have high crown authority. Let's continue improving our castles. Oh, we can't because we haven't got enough tech out there. Yeah, that's the other thing we could do would be to improve our keep. No, we're not going to lower the Crown Authority. Right, we no longer have a truce with the person who was Byzantine Emperor 2 people before the current one, or whatever it is. Possibly he was leader of a revolt in the Byzantine Empire, actually. Count of Kerak has died without issue. Really? Why would any peasants bother revolting? We can crush peasant revolts trivially. It's mostly an opportunity for me to cheer up my vassals. Because usually the locals like it if you crush their revolts for them, though it looks like they're going to get there first. But they got there first. Probably means I don't get the bonus for helping to crush the revolt. We'll see. Nah. Ooh, for 39 gold we can get more economic technology spread rate. Yes, please. So they're currently not at war with anyone. Oh, I bet they are now. Right, they're pressing further into Africa. Sadly, we have a truce with Africa, so we can't get in the way. Why does he have such a big raised levies penalty, I wonder? Oh, I used his levies too much. I don't remember doing so. Okay, that's not very helpful. Let's just send my slightly overpowered domain levies off to deal with this one. Satuk is still insulting people. Let's continue. Right, he's gained deceitful, which I think is probably what I was after for some reason. The Count of Erbil is apparently unchaste. That's nice. Not so much unchaste as adulterous, but there we go. Aha, we have improved Duke Athelwyn's opinion slightly. I think we might actually get to crush this revolt quickly enough. Ah! Okay, Queen Antsa just dropped dead. Queen Antsa the First has given up the ghost at age 61. She died of severe stress. I didn't even remember she was stressed. Born with unparalleled genius, Antsa was known for her sharp and brilliant mind, always looking for new problems to solve and new opportunities to exploit. Queen Antsa II. A godly woman, Antsa is sure to impress the priests with her extensive knowledge of the Bible. Yes, well... long live Queen Antsa II. So be it. So the new Queen Antsa has slightly more armour than she needs. An heir who is Princess Elbira, who is only 13. A decided lack of genius. But what with all of that stuff, she still does have a reasonable martial skill. Like, we have managed to make her a brilliant strategist. On which subject? Who is tutoring Elbira? Right, maybe we can do better than that. So she's gained the Iron Mask and the Black Crusader Falchion and the German Armour of the Cross and Gethsemane and the House of Wisdom. She no longer has a claim on the Kingdom of Nubia. Or Egypt or Africa. That's not really a big problem. Moreover, she no longer has a truce with Africa. Temporarily, she doesn't have... Oh, she can break off this stupid betrothal to a 4-year-old. That will improve matters. I think the guy I wanted you to marry is still kicking around in Jerusalem. Like, why did you betroth yourself to a 4-year-old, you weirdo? And we should find a better person to tutor Elbira, because we want her, if at all possible, to turn out as an excellent ruler in her own right. I mean, she's coming along pretty well, to be honest. But I think we can do better. Probably. Queen Antsa is currently leading troops, apparently. I mean, I suppose that's okay with a martial skill of 18. So the armour of the cross and indeed the holy prepuce are currently not of much use, but Princess Elvira is not yet of an age where we can give them to her, I don't think. I mean, strictly we can actually, it just like doesn't help very much. I mean, I say that, yeah, I think they can't, the armour can't be equipped, and obviously by a child, and the fertility bonus is not of much use. So Antsa's over her domain limit, largely because she's got like her duchy and her mother's duchy in addition to the capital of Jerusalem itself. So we should probably try to deal with that. Actually, what's domain limit based on? Might only be based on her own stewardship, yes, which is fairly poor. We should appoint some decent people who'll generally just do on the basis of picking the person at the top of each list, because that's probably sensible. I have no idea why we were betrothed to Franz di Spoleto. Will annoy the Duke of Nefud. Right, well that's pity, but I mean, yes, we could marry the King of Swabia. I don't think that's very helpful. So sadly, the person I actually wanted to appoint, we seem to have lost. Jordanes looks like he might be all right, except what on earth is going on with his diplomacy? Also, like, where is he? Wasn't he a commander? I do seem to have a weird set of commanders now. We need to fix that. It was Azam, who wasn't it? Maybe not. No, surely not. Okay, let's see if we can find a genius who'll join our court. Who's actually like got good stats in all respects. Don't really care about age. Like that, Virginio seems like he has. I suppose we need to make sure he's not married, don't we? Seems like he's the only option. But we're both gluttonous. Get over it. Yes, okay. You do go as a +5 for both gluttonous. I mean, I don't know whether he's exactly the best candidate, but it's not like we need. Not like Antsa is likely to have more children, given that nudging down her fertility. I'm just wondering, do we worry about that? No, we don't. Right, so loses me 300 prestige, but he should be an excellent king. Yeah, go on. Oh, we can get 200 of the prestige back again. Excellent. Go on, get yourself a crown. You're king now. No, apparently he doesn't consider himself a king. So that's going to be at least slightly good for our state diplomacy, which is probably helpful. Right, let's work out who should be tutoring whom. So Elbira and Satuk are the ones who obviously need to be best organised because they're the next generation. So Antsa is a brilliant strategist but has some terrible other scores. So ideally we would find someone a bit better than her to do the teaching, because that will improve the scores that Elbira ends up with. I think it's best if it's one of our courtiers, though, because that way it's someone we don't mind annoying if we want to get Elbira back. So what I would quite like is someone with high but reasonably flat scores, and who is ideally... Okay, so I think we probably for safety we want a brilliant strategist, but then ideally a courtier who's a reasonably well-balanced brilliant strategist. I mean, you could send her off to Baldwin, but that... I mean, he has a pretty high... Bloody hell, he currently has a plus 419 for his opinion of Antsa the First. He is a weird religion, and Gregarious doesn't spread religion, so he should be okay. I mean, I could quickly search my realm for essentially, yes, any geniuses and look for ones. Okay, genius, brilliant strategists are only Jordanes, who somehow just has a terrible base diplomacy. So yeah, that's not going to work. He looks pretty good. I mean, it's a bit random. But I'm quite tempted. I mean, we'd kind of like someone diligent. Again, the diligent, brilliant strategists tend to be a bit weird. I mean, that's not a bad set of numbers, but it's not a good set. Maybe we should give her to Faddle and see what happens. I mean, but the thing is, the only way in which she's really better is in learning. Yes, I am putting far more effort into this than into, for instance, wars. I mean, Gerhild's not a good choice, to be fair. Faddle is an obviously better choice than Gerhild. But 6, 17, 7, 5, 8 versus 13, 18, 7, 7, 3. It's only learning that will be a problem. So yeah, I think it's probably best if I keep on tutoring Elbira, because I can't find an obviously better candidate. So then we should worry about Satuk, who has been turned Catholic, currently being tutored by someone inappropriate. Possibly we should aim for him to be tutored by a grey eminence. which would suggest my husband. Well, that probably works. Then I'm tutoring my other daughter, who is betrothed to a Prince of Italia. So we still need to do something about our domain size. We need to get rid of 4 titles. We're getting a too many held duchies penalty, so ideally we would find someone to grant a duchy to, and hand over either Thais or Samara. Problem is, I really want to grant one of them to Elbira when she comes of age. Which is 3 years away. Is it reasonable to just sit around for 3 years with a slight domain, with the slight penalties we get for having? What's the danger in granting it to her early? It's not like she's going to. I think the issue is that then she might not. We might not be able to tutor her, but well, we'll see what happens. So we could grant her. I feel that the right thing is to grant her Thais on the grounds that Antsa II has been Duchess of Samara all her life and thus should probably keep it. And we should hand over Thais, who is, which was Antsa I's duchy. Yeah, go on. She is now Duchess Elbira of Thais. We're still slightly over our domain limit. So what are we going to do about that then? We want to keep Shaba and Ramallah. So what else have we got? All right, we bizarrely have the county of Najran, which, because that's part of the de jure Duchy of Sanar, which, as a result of some complications, we took rather than the then Prince Archbishop of Hijaz getting it. Well, it's quite tempting thus to grant that, since he probably wants it. Desires the county of Najran, to grant him the county of Najran. What? I think it got... Oh, I can't, because too much of my territory is in vassal theocracies. Ugh. How annoying. Right. What other weird counties do I have? Obviously I hold Jerusalem. Kirkuk is part of Samara, so I don't really want to lose that either. And like traditionally we hold Damascus and the counties of Damascus and Jerusalem. Najran is like a bit of an accident. Maybe I can find someone worthwhile whom I should grant Najran to. It's going. Is there any? Does any of these just like have no children? I mean, he does, but he has a 19-year-old wife. Just wondering if there's someone I should just grant it to. His learning is quite spectacular. He's 66 years old, so he won't be around for much longer. So let's grant it to my spy master for no very good reason. I mean, he's still my spy master. Right, so now I'm down below my domain limit, which is nice. Did winning that, did dealing with that revolt help him to like me? Not really, no. I thought he should, but maybe. Oh, is the local count who ends up liking you, isn't it? Yes. Which is not very helpful. Right. What is my council doing? What minor titles do I have spare? I should fix up my commanders. These are terrible. So we've got Morcar, who is solid but has no interesting ability traits. So we want to find ourselves relieve all the obviously terrible ones. I think this is automatically populating them. I think the thing is we technically have too many commanders because we have all of Antsa II's previous commanders and all of Antsa I's previous commanders. So as I relieve them, the other ones then come into existence. So now I think we have a halfway reasonable set, except that we have the problem that because Antsa I was a siege leader, we don't actually have... Oh, I just sat on the microphone cable. Antsa II is not a siege leader. We don't currently have a siege leader available. So we should probably track down a siege leader. Fadl is a siege leader but only has Marshal 17. I mean, admittedly, Baldwin only has 16. So we can get 19. So let's go for that. We do have 2 organisers. Probably get away with dismissing him as a commander. We probably don't need that much opinion. So we could then appoint Faddle in his place. A revolt has broken out in Samara. Angered by my oppressive rule, the peasants have taken to arms. Yeah, well, it's not like we don't see that quite often. Let's wait for my new commander to arrive. And then go. We've got quite a decent set here. It's slightly sad that we have to relieve either Radbot or Karlman. Let's go for relieving Karlman. But we want Hermann because he's a siege leader. For some reason I was thinking it might matter for whether he had children. I can't think for the life of me think why I would care about that now. We might want him to be Catholic. I mean, you've thought his wife could have asked for that, but... Oh dear. Heribert didn't outlive his wife very long. Died only a few months later. Right, well, we should probably raise some armies and deal with this lot. Okay, we should organise some more tutelage as well. How is Antsa going to learn if not by leading armies into battle? The servant girls chuckle as I pass them by on my way to the dining room. I catch only a few of their words before they hastily go back to their tasks, but it is clear that the source of their odious giggling is my wide, puffy hips. All of those large feasts I subject myself to have really started to ruin my figure. Generally not in favour of hard diet. Tiny number of military technology points, small amount of prestige, and we have dealt with that revolt. Right, so Nunya, my niece, is currently in court here because all of my siblings are unlanded. Mayor does insist on wearing a helmet all the time. I don't quite know why. So if we do that, do we right, then she's not a close enough relative that we actually gain any anything by any particular person educating her. So mostly we can just hope that she turns out in some way useful. There we go. Right, now we need to actually do something with all of our people. Lots of my vassals dislike me to varying levels. Being arbitrary doesn't help. Being female and gluttonous doesn't help. Yes. So let's see. Probably don't need to worry too much about counts. So that suggests to me that Palmyra is a fairly high priority to improve. So we'll send him out there. Also go, like, there are plenty of jobs we could grant people. Okay, there aren't plenty. We've granted them all now. I think we want more economy tech research. You should be studying technology in the usual place. And you should probably be proselytizing somewhere, and there aren't that many places left. Right. Now we have no idle council members. Do you currently only have 36,000 troops, which is a bit of an embarrassment. They're not noticeably depleted. That suggests that our short rain penalty is a bit vicious. Like, Alaric is actually doing better now. So we're going to need to cheer up our vassals quite a lot. Or I suppose jack up the Crown Authority even further. But that requires a lot of legalism. Well, it requires level 5 legalism. Right, we are actually close to being able to get level 5 legalism, which would allow us to go to absolute Crown Authority, which increases the levies we get to the point where it really doesn't matter what their opinions are. But we don't actually want to ban our vassals from waging war, so not sure what we do there. I mean, I suppose if we're going to go to war, we should start with a quick war against the Najadids, just on principle. Where's Hajar and why do we have a de jure claim on it? Ah, right, it's those two, yes. Oh, and apparently they hold something down here. How inconvenient. Basra is 3 counties. Mudar is, I think, 3 counties. Nafud is now only 2. Probably not tonight. But yeah, that's probably the right thing to do next. While we try to we need to get also enough money to upgrade to a better keep. And fairly soon we'll be able to get an additional holding slot here for having built Gethsemane. So we still don't hold Petra, which is probably for the best. Because that will make it even more expensive to do anything. I seem to think it's a university and not a grand library. I think in all other respects it's a grand library though. Right, so yes, I think we... oh, I've remembered why I was interested in whether my new commander had an heir, finally. It was because he actually owns some artefacts. Oh, it is only a magnificent painting. But he has plenty of children, so one of them will inherit the magnificent painting, sadly. Yes, so I don't think there's anything interesting there. Mostly we know that it's going to be quite expensive to upgrade Gethsemane the next time because we now have 2 great works and are still not a mystic, so we can't build the Fountain of Youth. Why is it that no one in this place is a mystic? I mean, everyone is, it's just that the Queen is never a mystic. Right, and once she comes of age, we can pass on some useful artifacts to her. Right, well, anyway, I think that is probably all we're doing for tonight. I think I may actually have lost all of the audience anyway. So probably next we go to war with the Najidids again, and then possibly one of the Byzantine Empire or Africa, and continue our attempts at expanding to the point where we control the whole of the Near East and can then found the Empire of Outremer. But that will be for another day and probably another year. So until then, good night.